Before Bruce Springsteen became the boss, before Born to Run, before Born in the USA, before Thunder Road, before Dancing in the Dark, before Glory Days, before Hungry Heart, before The River, before selling more than 140 million records worldwide, before 20 Grammy Awards, before an Academy Award, before a special Tony Award, before the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, before sold-out stadiums around the world, before becoming one of the greatest songwriters in rock and roll history, before becoming the musical voice of New Jersey, Bruce Springsteen was just a kid from Freehold, New Jersey, trying to figure out if his dream would ever become reality. And here's what makes his story so fascinating. He didn't look like a typical rock star. He didn't have the polished voice most record executives were looking for. His voice was rough, gravelly, different. Some people question whether someone who sounded like Bruce Springsteen could ever become a major recording artist. Imagine hearing that. The man who would eventually become one of the most recognizable voices in music history wasn't considered an obvious choice for stardom. But Bruce never tried to become someone else. He leaned into who he actually already was. And that's where the story begins. Bruce grew up in a working class family. Money was often tight. His father struggled to keep steady jobs and battled emotional and mental health challenges. Life at home wasn't always easy. Bruce has spoken openly about feeling like he didn't fit in. Music became more than entertainment. It became hope. It became purpose. It became an escape. But dreams don't pay the bills. Bruce spent years playing tiny clubs, bars, small venues, anywhere he could actually let the band perform. Night after night, driving long distances, loading equipment, setting up everything by himself, playing for crowds that sometimes barely filled the room, then waking up the next day and doing it all over again. That's persistence, that's hard work, and that's something many people don't know. Bruce became obsessed with getting better. He rewrote songs, practiced endlessly, studied great songwriters, refined every lyric, refined every performance. He believed every audience deserved everything he had. Even if there was only a handful of people watching, that's a lesson by itself. Character isn't revealed when thousands are watching. Character is revealed when almost nobody is watching. And then the first big break finally came. Legendary music producer John Hammond, the same man who had discovered Bob Dylan, heard Bruce perform. He saw something special. Bruce signed with Columbia Records, finally a recording contract. Most people think that's where the success story begins. It wasn't. His first two albums received outstanding reviews from critics, but they didn't sell. The pressure mounted. His record label needed results. Bruce knew the next album might determine whether his career survived. Think about that. One more album, one more chance, one more chapter. Most people would have folded under that kind of pressure. Bruce didn't. He doubled down. He kept writing, he kept rehearsing, he kept believing, he kept showing up. Months of relentless work eventually produced one album, Born to Run. Everything changed. The breakthrough wasn't just an album. It was proof of persistence pays off. Then came Darkness on the Edge of Town, The River, Nebraska, Born in the USA, hit after hit, tour after tour, generation after generation. Bruce Springsteen didn't just become famous, he became the boss. Interestingly enough, his nickname didn't come from ego. Early in his career, Bruce collected the band's pay after every show and made sure everyone got paid fairly. The band started calling him the boss. The nickname stuck. Today, millions of fans around the world know him as that name, the boss. Bruce also became inseparable from New Jersey itself. Long before Bon Jovi emerged on the national stage, Bruce Springsteen had become the musical voice of the Garden State. His songs captured the hopes, struggles, dreams, and everyday lives of working people. But here's something else many people admire. Even after all the awards, after all the records, after the sold-out stadiums, Bruce has spoken openly about his own battles with depression. He reminds us that success doesn't eliminate life's struggles. It teaches us how to face them. So what's the lesson? Persistence. Persistence. That's the common thread you'll find in almost every great success story. Not perfection, not luck, persistence. Bruce Springsteen didn't become the boss because everything went his way. He became the boss because he refused to quit when things weren't going his way. Maybe you're living one of those difficult chapters right now. Maybe your business isn't growing. Maybe your music isn't being heard. Maybe your book hasn't sold. Maybe you're looking for work. Maybe you're trying to find a new relationship. Maybe you're wondering if your dream is worth chasing anymore. Remember this, your life is like a book. Every great book has a difficult chapter. Some chapters are exciting, some chapters are heartbreaking, and some feel like nothing is happening at all. But one difficult chapter doesn't determine how the story ends. Don't mistake a hard chapter for a final chapter. Turn the page, keep writing, keep learning, keep improving. Keep showing up. Persistence is choosing to move forward one more day, one more page, one more chapter. Bruce Springsteen's story reminds us that extraordinary lives aren't built in a single breakthrough. They're built through thousands of ordinary days when someone refuses to quit. So don't close the book on your dream. Your greatest chapter may still be waiting to be written. Give us a like, subscribe to Accomplished Coach, and win. And remember, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.